Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this very special broadcast, Applied Literacy and Learning, I Am Excellent. A special broadcast that's for the folks out there that are interested in uplifting the education in your area, starting in the area where the kids are, sowing into the future. In a little bit, you'll see the executive director, Bobby Clark, which is going to explain her wonderful program. And throughout this broadcast, we're going to try to visually articulate as much as possible what this program is all about. And keep in mind that a lot of this broadcast that you're about to see is actually being filmed by actual students in middle school attending this particular program. So hang on to your seats. Here it is, the Applied Literacy and Learning, I Am Excellent television broadcast.
Basically, what we always want to do is make a difference in the lives of our children. And we're able to do this through the 21st Century Community Learning Center grant that we received from the Department of Education, the Louisiana Department of Education, through No Child Left Behind. And so basically, what we've been able to do is to have an after-school program for the middle school, Capital Middle and Southeast Middle. And what happens with this is that we've had 3 days of academics, and we focus on math with also some additional English that's brought into the program. And in addition to that, the students have 1 day of enrichments, and that has included film production with Brian Herzog, and then we have Zonda Barnes, who does the etiquette, what we call personal development. And then we also have Zumba with Stephanie. And let's see here, we have 2 additional ones. We have, Michael Davila, and he's martial arts. And we have chess. And that chess program is with one of our tutors also. So it's been going along really well. So it has that diversity that allows us to not only have the children involved in their academics, but also to have some fun as well.
The aspects that stood out the most with the program are the progress that we've seen with the children. They have excelled on their both iLEAP and LEAP exams, and with the post-assessments, we have seen increased grades in mathematics and ELA, which is English and Language Arts, but we're most concerned with mathematics. And like I said, we have seen tremendous increase in their learning. The difference in my position I believe in my position as the coordinator is that I deal with the students, the tutors, the partners, the principals, all the school administration. The tutors and the partners, they basically deal with me and the students. So they have a big role, but a smaller audience to deal with. But I have the entire audience, like I said, the school, the administrators, and everybody. Well, in this particular program, we have enrichments of Zumba, martial arts, film production, and we have chess and character building. These enrichments are beneficial to those children because a lot of them provide means to increase their discipline, increase their learning, increase their focus.
Well, I would think that all of the programs really care about the children. And I don't know if we're really unique in how we go about setting up our program. I will tell you that I insist that all of my tutors are qualified to be in those positions. I will tell you, one of the students at Capital Middle was in our after-school program at our center. And this young lady had failed the LEAP. And we worked with her, and we knew she was ready. So this child went from the 4th grade straight to the 6th grade. And so I walk into Capitol one day, and I heard someone saying, "Hi, Miss Bobby. Hi, Miss Bobby." And I look around, and here's this child who's gone from the 4th grade and is now in the 6th grade. She has passed the LEAP. And so the challenge was, how do we assist the school in making sure this child has a successful year? At the end of the school year, I phoned her to see how the year had gone for her, and she said she had made the honor roll. And I thought that, you know, we really had worked with her when she was studying for the ACT. We had her for the full year, and then to have had her again in the 6th grade and to see that she was successful, not only successful, but to be an honor student after having gone from the 4th to the 6th grade. And I feel so honored that we were able to play a part in her success.
I've been teaching for a year and a half with Applied Literacy and Learning, teaching Zumba, which is a dance fitness class. And the differences I've noticed from teaching my children at the middle school level and teaching the adults that I teach at the various gyms in town is that I need to give the kids lots of motivation, and I need to always find ways to connect with them on their interests and their levels. So bringing in music that they are interested in, finding ways to connect certain movements with movements that they're used to has been a difference from me teaching with my adult classes. With teaching the middle school children, I've found different ways of pulling their attention by talking to them more, connecting with them more one-on-one, talking a little bit more about their interests, and then doing some own research on my own to kind of see what middle school kids are involved in and what they enjoy doing, what kind of music they're listening to, and finding ways to connect that with movement. Working with the kids, I've noticed that the music that I've used or the dances I've used, I've also had a chance to take the kids together and have them come up and create movements together. I've used some of that, and it's a different flair, it's a different flavor than sometimes what I'm used to doing in my classes. So I've enjoyed taking that and bringing it to my adult students, and they've enjoyed that too, and we've expanded our interests. Throughout this year, I've had a student who, she was very eager and very excited to learn, and at times it can be difficult to learn some of the movements. You know, if it's not something you're used to doing, it can be hard to pick up on. So I've noticed that throughout the year, she's improved on that, improved on picking up faster the movements that we're doing, the combinations, remembering, which are all key elements that she can use in her schoolwork too. Memorizing, understanding, comprehending. So I noticed at the end of the year, we were doing some new dances, and she picked up on it very fast. When someone picks up something fast, it's very exciting. I've learned that every day is a new day, and every day I need to come in to my classroom with new ideas and new ways of motivating my students. New ways to create fun and create a setting where they are inspired to get up and move and participate. What I get out of teaching is joy. For me, fitness and eating healthy and being fit has always been easy. I've had a few bumps here along down the road, but I've always felt better when I was active and when I was eating correctly. And so I get a joy when I come to the class and I see the girls start to participate, and sometimes the young men too, start to participate, start to move and enjoy it, and tell me, hey, I do feel better, or I enjoyed doing that today. I get joy out of making other people happy.
Children usually are a challenge in the beginning. One is after school, so they don't particularly want to be there. And so it's having a program that draws them in, that they want to attend. And so that's the challenge. I know the enrichments had a very, very large part in their wanting to be there and to be able, they were able to select the program that they desired. They had a choice of being in chess, martial arts, film production, personal development, or they could be in Zumba. And so having those wide range of choices really made a difference. I would go and visit, and it was interesting watching the children in film production who literally were able to use the cameras. They weren't just there sitting with instruction, but they were hands-on. They were using the cameras. They were involved all the way through. I watched them do filming, and I watched them have a promo that was on TV, and I know how successful that is for them, and several of them talked about wanting to become film producers. In the martial arts, several of the children have now talked about, along with their parents, about getting into martial arts and about getting their black belts. Without having introduced these programs to them, then I question whether they would have had the idea of going further into that area. And the same thing with chess. We now have children who are being challenged to go out and join chess clubs so that they can continue that. And so those are the kinds of things that have made a difference. We watch the children in personal development where they made soap. We had some folks who came in and gave all of the children in that class a pair of tennis shoes. And so the different things that they are able to become involved in has helped. And then at the same time, we're able to see them do better in their classwork.
These enrichments that are offered to these children, I really believe that they would not have the ability to get these type of enrichments or get these type of learning experiences elsewhere. And they're getting these by being a part of this program, and it's all offered to them for free. It's like a carrot to them. And especially with the martial arts and the film production, who would think that they would be able to figure out how to do something on TV? Those classes of that magnitude and that nature, they cost. And with the economic situation of a lot of the children and their families, they would not be able to afford those types of classes and get that type of learning outside of this program. Teachers of the enrichments, they are very caring and nurturing individuals, and they also have that extra component of being persons that actually work in the particular industries that they are teaching. For example, the person that teaches film production, that's exactly what he does on a daily basis. Martial arts, the young man that teaches the martial arts has a martial arts studio. The young woman that does the Zumba, she actually teaches Zumba classes within the Baton Rouge area, so they are teaching from personal experience, bringing that to the students as well. And like I said, also bringing that caring and nurturing environment and the learning to the students.
So we developed a program knowing that it would have to evolve as we went on. So what we did is we walked in, we started off with just a basic martial arts program, and then we wanted to see what the needs of the children that we were there to help. And as we did it, a lot of them didn't know that much about martial arts, and what little did know about martial arts, they had a misconception of what it was. So what we did, we started off by educating them that martial arts isn't just for self-defense and beating people up. It was for anti-bullying, and the principles that we were teaching them would help them learn how to apply that in their schoolwork. You know, the thing is the kids these days look at the very end goal. They look at it all the way at the end, and they sometimes get overwhelmed. Just like at the beginning of the school year, when the teacher hands out the book and the teacher says, we're going to learn everything in this book, they look at it and they think it's like they just have to just consume it at one time. What we really wanted to teach them or show them was that if you take a little bitty step at a time and you focus on those little steps, that before you know it, you're going to be at your end goal. Then you're going to look back and marvel at how much accomplishment you've made. And that's what our main goal was, to help them apply that to their math and English. And the one thing that really impressed me about these kids is that they want to be leaders. They're looking for leadership, and there's not enough people out there that are willing to be leaders. And they were so responsive and so receptive to us that a lot of them came up to us and said, you know what, I want to take martial arts outside of here. I want to be a black belt. And that's not something that you hear these days. Most people say, I want to be an MMA star or something like that. so that the kids understood the philosophy of it. That really impressed me, that the kids are that hungry for knowledge. You know, when we begin the course, we set goals for the course overall. And the goal for the course overall would be that you know, they start to understand martial arts, and they start to understand some of the beginner level movements. And we give them maybe 15 movements, and by the end of the course, we would like them to have those 15 movements down pat, in the, you know, can do it backwards, forwards with their eyes closed. And the other thing that we expect out of the program is, from the beginning, we look at their grades. We want to see how their grades are at the end, and as they improve, we want them to be able to explain what parts of the martial arts that we taught them help them, that, you know, that they applied in their lessons to be able to get further in their schoolwork. You know what, I think it's important that all kids look into the martial arts and look into the philosophy aspects of it, because it's not just a sport. And that's the thing, is martial arts in popular culture now has become a sport, and it's just another activity. And if they look at it as a philosophy and as something that's a way of life, and that they can apply and use and help them become successful in all aspects of life, I think that if they learn to apply the philosophies of martial arts into everyday life, I think they would find that life would become richer. And the knowledge, just the accepting of knowledge, is a big thing, because life is all about changes. And if you're not willing to adapt and overcome, you stay behind. And martial arts teaches you how to lead. I want to encourage all the students that took over the last 2 years to go out and seek martial arts instructors and continue. We have some of them that can be really, really talented. And we you know, I hope and I encourage them to keep up the good work. Even if they don't do martial arts, remember the things that they learn and apply that in everyday life, because there's not anybody, you know, there's not anybody that we've taught in those schools that can't be a lawyer, a doctor, or anything that they want to be, as long as they have the belief in their heart. And that's what we've preached to them from day one, that it's hard work, but it's worth it.
For me, having the position of being the director of the program, being able to see the success of the program and the success of each of these children individually really makes a difference. And I feel very blessed to have the opportunity to have made a difference in their lives. One of the challenges is that children in any grade can be at any grade level. What I mean by that is, the challenge is that we may have some children who are in the 7th, 8th grade, but their math levels may be in the elementary grades, and others are right on target. So the challenge for us is, how do we meet all of these children's needs? So basically, what I always try to do is to get the best tutors possible. In addition to that, we want to be able to separate the children who need more assistance versus those who can take what I call more challenges. And so while we may be catching one child up, we have the other children, because of the number of tutors that we have, that are able to work with these children and get them to move forward. So we're not locked into one recipe fits everybody. We have a portion. We want to catch the child where they are, or the children where they are, and to move them forward.
There was one young lady that was brought to our program. She was considered special ed. She was brought to us, recommended by one of the teachers at the school. The teacher brought the student to me and said, "This young lady, I feel she would really benefit from your program, but she doesn't speak." And I asked the teacher, "What do you mean she doesn't speak?" And she said, "Well, she just won't talk. She doesn't talk at all." So I said, "Well, yeah, bring her to me, because we do academics, we do enrichment, so she'll fit in somewhere. We'll get a space for her, we'll put her in, we'll get her involved." At the end of the semester, she's talking up a storm. So I going to take full credit. We, as a program, got her voice, broke that shell. Now she's most friendly, laughing and talking person. And two, she requested to go to the film production in Richmond. So I believe that also had an impact on her getting involved and breaking out of that shell and getting in contact with students and wanting to talk. So she's talking now. And we have also had children to really excel, come from, you could put it ground zero, and are making, say, at least a 3.0 now, because there's a young lady that is kind of like my adopted daughter. She has taken me on as her other mother. When she first came into the program, she came in at the 7th grade, when she was 7th grade, and her grades were not too good, but she's just a sweetie pie. Her grades were not the best, but she kept plugging along, and this year she passed the LEAP exam with flying colors. She passed all of her classes, and now she's going on to high school. So we do have kids that are just in a regular classroom that are also excelling, but that is just one that really stands out. With this program, the primary lesson that I have learned is that all kids can learn. Even though they come to the program as maybe considered as disciplinary problems, these kids can learn. They just want somebody to take the time with them, take the time to love them, to give them that little bit of encouragement. They can learn, and they will learn. If it's presented to them, they will grasp it. It's just a matter of taking the time to get it across to them. And that's the biggest thing that I've learned.
Chess is a game of strategy. You're getting the extra knowledge. You're getting more knowledge on what you already have. You'll be able to use that knowledge, just like when we were talking about how you can be patient. You're gonna have to be patient in life. Maybe certain things in your life won't go the way that you want it to be. You have to stay positive, and you gotta have a plan B. That's strategy. That's part of strategy, and that's what chess teaches you. I mean, I've been playing chess for about maybe, I want to say at least 10 years maybe, and I keep learning, and I've been built up with this patience, and I always find a way to find a positive in a negative, and that's what chess actually taught me. Well, I was in a position whereas I was actually learning chess from a chess coach, and I never would have thought in a million years that I would ever be in a position like that to actually teach another child what I've learned about chess, and it felt great. It felt really great. They thought I was like some kind of chess master, you know. Sometimes I actually felt that I was a chess master because the way how they would look up to me, ask questions, you know, feel shocked on, wow, this is how it works, this is it, this and that. And I felt really proud of being over that program. I had a kid named Juan. He was like really into the game, and he wanted to know more about it. And you know, we would just play games. I could see when I play him, out of all the students that I had in the chess program, he took it like to heart. You know, he would strategize, how patient he is. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. When I played with him, I thought, you know, I could take it easy with him. But when I took it easy with him, he'll take it, you know, he'll see, it looks like he's actually winning. And that's what, you know, that's how, you know, you always have a student like that picks up different things. And he picks it up quick. And I mean, that was about the most remarkable story that I can think of. Chess is a mind game, okay? And the good thing about chess is that it teaches you patience, strategize, different things that'll prepare you to do other things that'll benefit you in the long run. But the good thing about chess is that it's not a masculine sport, and it's not a feminine sport. It's not a sport for girls, and it's not a sport for boys. The good thing about chess, the way how it's structured, is that when a lot of people think about chess, I mean, when a lot of people think about sports, they think of a masculine sport. Whereas in chess, if you think about it, chess is actually more of a feminine sport than a masculine sport, because the most powerful piece on the board is the queen. Other than that, the reason why I would actually advocate students to get into chess, it's a great game. And I love it, and I want them to be a part of it.
One of the schools we have been in since the beginning, since our inception, is Southeast Middle. And the school principal there is Amber Boyd. Miss Boyd has been very much she's a hands-on school principal, and one who really wants to see the best for her students. And so I think so often when I talk with other schools and they want to know, well, how successful is your program? I always ask or suggest to them that they talk with the schools, talk with Capital, talk with Southeast, and ask them how they see our involvement with their schools and if it made a difference. Talk to the people at Southeast Middle and talk to the people at Capital Middle, and they will be able to tell you what our involvement has meant to their students. It is, as we see the students and as I walk the hallways, and for children to look and to be able to identify me and speak to me, know my name, and I see them as they continue to be in the classrooms and their involvement. And when I see their scores begin to come up, that is very, very exciting for us. My name is Bobby Clark, and I'm the Executive Director of Applied Literacy and Learning. And through our program, we are a nonprofit, 501c3, and we have a grant with the Louisiana Department of Education, and our grant is the 21st Century Community Learning Center grant. And through this grant, we've been able to work at 2 schools, Capital Middle and Southeast Middle, and we're excited to be going into our 3rd year in the fall.
Quiet on the set. Roll tape.
That was just a taste of what's going on inside of the Applied Literacy and Learning I Am Excellent program in the Broadcasting and Film Department. Of course, my name is Brian Herzog. I'm the CEO of Herzog Entertainment, which is responsible for teaching the broadcasting and film inside of the school systems through the Applied Literacy and Learning program. It's been an amazing program. The students have been extremely receptive, and just the fact that the energy of the film industry and what's been coming down here in the South in terms of business due to our tax credits, I think it's really made an amazing focus for the kids here, being able to actually hands-on, put their hands on the cameras and learn something, learn a trade and skill that's very popular, that's very useful in this particular area geographically where they actually live. Don't forget, this particular program is an amazing program that you have to think about the future when you're sewing. When you're sewing into kids, you have to think about the future. And in Applied Literacy and Learning, that's exactly what's going on, especially through the Applied Literacy and Learning I Am Excellent program. I've enjoyed you. Thank you for being with us, and we look forward to giving you even more visuals, more visual articulation of the Applied Literacy and Learning program, the I Am Excellent. Thank goodness for that program, I Am Excellent. We'll see you then.